when there's a lot of chips in play and you're on the bubble?
You take your time. If the blinds are low, there's nothing much to steal.
Raised.
So it really depends how big the blinds are. You know, if the blinds are big, you want to be real active. If the blinds are a little lower, you can take it a little slower. You know. With ace king, you're playing.
Yeah, the hands just play themselves here.
Yeah.
I mean, he made a raise of 25,000 when the blinds are 2 and 4,000, and
Yanni's moved all in, which is the right play.
Well,
We can't call.
That's why ace king is a great hand to you can just move in, and if you get called, you still have a real good shot. But you don't really want to see a flop because it's nothing. It's just the ace high. But it's a great hand to push people with. Because what you're going to do, you're going to call your turn with king high. You know?
what about Gialis? What's he thinking now? Does he think maybe Yanni's making a move on him?
I don't think so.
He's hoping,
He just thinks he put a lot of money in and he doesn't want to fold and give up 25,000.
He likes his hand. It's a pretty hand, king queen. Why?
It is pretty.
If someone pushes it in, you know someone has a pair or an ace, and you're just behind.
I think Yanni said after this was over that he thought Peter was weak when he made overly big raises. I mean, do people sometimes do that? Do they signify that they just don't want any more action with a very big raise?
Yeah, they do. They do.
But
There's no doubt about
here he just played his hand. He had ace king, so it's just.
I mean, yeah, these hands play, and then there's not much you can do. I think Peter needs to call this too. In the long run, it's
There's a lot of money in there already.
He needs to call in the long run.
he needs to call because Yanni could have a small pair and move all in, or you could have an ace jack, move all in, and then it's correct to call.
Even though it's the bubble.
Well,
but
he's
what
put
you wanna
so
do,
much
you
money
wanna-
in, and I'm not sure about the exact chip stacks, but it's very close to calling because the pot is so big. You're getting 2 to 1. But you've got to look at the situation on the table, and you got to go with your feeling.
Pass.
And do you think fear was the overriding factor why he folded?
Fear was the overriding factor, and the fact that he doesn't want to miss out on a
but it
bubble.
was a good read in the end.
Yeah.
But it's easy to say when you see the cards. Yeah, he knew he was beat,
It's easy.
and he thought he had enough chips to recover and come back in another hand. So there it's important that you would raise not too much. He raised big, so he lose a lot of chips. Because if you want to raise and lay down, you can rather raise a little less.
Let's look at some more aggression from Yanni. So on the bubble, the size of the raise is important too. I mean, Tony, when you were raising on the bubble, you were making it very small, I guess to give yourself the opportunity to get away from it.
Exactly.
You don't need to send a boy out to
Yeah,
do
because
a
people are
man's
just going to
job.
fold or push it in, so it doesn't really matter if you raise a little, because no one's never calling you.
Pass.
I raised.
Raise. Up to 12.
Yeah, he's putting on the pressure.
He's just
Like he should.
doubling the bet.
That's too small. That's an automatic call, but
Yeah, he should make it like at least 14, I think. 'Cause
you must call there in the big blind because you're last to speak. And
Pass.
you're
That's
getting
weak.
Like, you're getting 3.5 to 1. Or this big small and big blind even. Wow. Yeah, you got position on him.
Yanni seems to be playing a little bit like you. He's playing I mean, he has a very big stack at this table right now. And is a big stack on the bubble a lot different than a medium stack on the bubble?
Oh, of course. I mean, he can just raise every single hand. And Yanni is a great player. I mean, he's really, really good. And he's doing the job. He's doing what anyone has to do.
Is there ever a stack that would be so big on the bubble that you would actually just want to sit back? Do you feel like you have enough chips to go forward?
No, you always want to. That's the moment where you can steal the most chips because people are just trying to get into the money and you just want to keep going. There you can go from 400,000 chips to 1 million because people keep folding. their
Unless
chips.
you have 90% of the chips and the other people have 10%,
they really have nothing.
then you don't have to play because then it's going to be over soon. So there's no need.
90% is the number.
Yeah, 90, 80% of all the chips. Once you have those chips,
Yeah.
you can start waiting. I mean,
It all depends on the structure of the tournament. If it's a final table with 10 people the next day, or you just continue with 3 or 6.
or when you know the players will call you, so why raise with 7-9 or something? If you know these guys understand the
But in
game,
general, if you know there's a good chance they're folding,
then you
raise
raise all the time. There's no reason not to raise.
All right, let's look at a final example of aggression from Yanni Sointula, who he really used this bubble to his advantage. And he ended up being one of the chip leaders at the final because of it.
Pass.
Is that a tight play there by Clayton?
Yeah, of course.
That king
They're
six
just
is pretty
waiting for the
bad.
final.
Yeah, the blinds are not that high. Like,
Pass.
Everyone's just waiting. Peter might limp in.
yeah, pretty bad hand, Jack 6. Especially when the chip
Raise.
leader's on your left.
10 more. 14 total.
And this is a bad race because he knows he's going to get called no matter what. He should know.
Yanni's not going to call. He's too good of a player.
Yeah,
to
now
call.
now he has a good hand.
He needs to go all in here.
Because he has an ace. But in general, like if you raise with Jack 6, you want to raise more if you raise.
Would Yannick go in regardless of his 2 cards here, sensing the
No.
other player is weak?
No, but now he knows he has the best hand probably.
He knows. Yeah. He knows he's going to he has to play this hand. I don't know what he's thinking about. He should have had the money in very quickly.
And was there any way for Jalis to win this hand, for say going all in instead of raising?
I think it would be very hard.
Oh, he's looking back maybe.
Maybe Yanni is a bit worried because Peter laid
Small
down
raise, yeah.
a hand when he re-raised.
No, that makes the right.
Re-raise.
Well, Jalis can't call now.
85,000.
There's no way you can call. Made the mistake against an aggressive player and against the chip leader.
And there you go. You lose another big chunk of your stack. So you could rather just have folded, or if you really wanted to play, move in, because this is like you're just.
Yeah, no, if
giving
you fold,
chips
it's a
away.
good play.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
you
blind's not so big. This is a nice play. I mean, I fold all the time here.
Yeah.
There's no value here right now.
You're out of position, and against the chip leader, it's not like you're.
So we've seen 2 pros take advantage of 2 amateurs on the bubble with these results. For people who are watching, what should they be doing different not to make the mistakes that Jalis and Tronzo made?
Well, it's having more commitment to the pot once you enter it, being more aggressive, and playing good poker, thinking.
And when you're low, like just find the hand and stick it in. Don't raise like you just saw and lay it down, because that's
Yeah.
where your chips go. You haven't seen a card, you haven't seen a flop, nothing.
When
And
you're
you lose,
low, when
10,
you're low and
12%.
you have a bad hand, don't raise good players so they can re-raise you and take it
And
away.
if you raise, you push it in, so you put them on a decision.
There's not just the bubble that gets you into the money, but then once you get into the money, there's bubbles that go all the way through. Do they just get harder to play, or
Like if it's a little jump in money, it's not that big of a deal till you get to the bubble that really goes to the final table.
what happens on that final table? If you're at a big money final table where first prize is $1 million and maybe ninth prize is 100,000.
You have a lot of people that take a different approach. People will just sit there to move up a little bit of money. It's for everybody what's their best interest,
Yeah, the
Some
strategy is
people
very
just
different.
bank 50,000 every time someone busts. Some people are professionals, just want to go for the win.
After the money bubble, the game changes again.
So it's important to find out who's after what, and you can steal the chips.
Should the strategy remain basically the same for final table
Yeah,
tactics?
it's basically the same. Yeah.
Knowing a player, knowing what you can do with this player. So it's
And just play smart. Don't put your whole stack at risk. Small races. Steal a little here, steal a little there, and just when you get it in, you have the best hand.
Well, we've gone over a lot. Tony and Noah have given it away about the bubble. You want to be a pro? Don't be scared to go out. Be overly aggressive. You don't need good cards, and avoid the big stack. So now you're in the money, but that's not what you came here for. We're here to win. How do you close the deal? How do you play heads up? Join us next week to find out.